So why does inequality look so good on screen? We know the rich are different from us. I mean, they have more money. But in the movies, they also have better lighting, better music, and just better romance. But Lois Tyson actually argues that when we're being entertained, our guard is down. And it even says that we're really especially vulnerable to ideological programming. So today we'll be looking at The Great Gatsby, Fiddler on the Roof, and Pride and Prejudice to see how the party, the song, and the dance act as a superstructure. That's the shiny coating that sells us the ideology of class while hiding the economic reality underneath.
Marxism treats money and power like gravity. Tyson says, economics is the base on which the superstructure of social/political/ideological realities is built. The base is who owns what and who has to work. The superstructure is what teaches us what's normal. Movies and music sit there. Tyson calls that the belief system ideology. It works best when it feels like common sense and when most people live inside it without even noticing. Marxists call that hegemony. Take Gatsby. Fitzgerald writes that guests came and went like moths. They drift around towards the light until they burn. That kind of represents a spectacle. Nick Carraway says that Daisy's voice is full of money. It turns the capital into a sound, kind of a feeling. This is commodification at its peak. Wealth stops being a ledger and starts becoming a personality trait. But when the party stops, the base shows up. The car crash, the careless people. We just kind of forgive the destruction because the light once looked so good. Now let me read you the full moth line because it's doing some heavy lifting. Men and girls came and went like moths among the whisperings and the champagne and the stars. The party gets written like a literal dream. Consumption just starts feeling like nature. And then the part where Daisy's voice is full of money, it uses the same trick. Wealth turns into something that you can almost touch. Then Fitzgerald gives you the bill for it. Nick says they were careless people, Tom and Daisy. They smashed up things and creatures and then retreated back into their money. That retreat is their class power. The party makes you able to forgive the crash. That's the hegemony working through a vibe.
Then there's Fiddler on the Roof. What happens when you have no money at all? I mean, you can sing about it. Tevia's If I Were a Rich Man. It's pretty funny, but it's doing some really heavy lifting. It frames poverty not as a failure of the system, but more as a spiritual test. The song also acts as a buffer. It converts the harsh economic base, which is his struggle to survive, into kind of a catchy tune that everybody can hum along to quite easily.
And Tevye tells you what the song is covering up. I realize, of course, that it's no shame to be poor, but it's no great honor either. Then he turns the problem into a joke with God. Would it spoil some vast eternal plan if I were a wealthy man? The audience laughs and the pressure drops, and then even tradition works like a safety rail. How do we keep our balance, he says, and answers with tradition. It's superstructure when the base is a life of poverty.
And finally, Pride and Prejudice. Here, Jane Austen's class conflict gets a little Bollywood update. The dance numbers explicitly turn marriage into a marketplace of sorts. We root for the romance, but the hegemony, which is what Tyson calls the common sense rules, those still remain the same. Love conquers all, but it certainly helps if love has a hotel empire attached with it. The dance makes globalism look like a fairy tale to anybody else.
The movie keeps pulling money into the romance. Darcy gets introduced like a brand. They own hotels all around the world. Later, he says a room costs $500 a night, and Lolita answers, that's more than what most people here make in a year. The class gap is real, obviously, but the dance and the comedy turn it into something exciting, something cute. That's ideology doing its job, because it makes the hierarchy feel like taste and destiny. Tyson has another line that fits what these three texts share. She says, and it is not merely the content of the literary work, the action or the theme that carries the ideology, but the form as well, or as most Marxists would argue, the form primarily. That means that the parties, the songs, and the dances are form. They are what make class feel good.
So, the party in Great Gatsby, the song in Fiddler, and the dance in Pride and Prejudice. They're all the same thing, and aesthetics basically. They make the rigid class structure feel fun, fluid, and essentially destined. They manufacture what Tyson calls false consciousness. making us feel like we're a part of the dream, even when we're just watching one. So, next time you wish you were the rich character, ask yourself, is this actually a good story? Or is my guard just down?